I'm in a drought. Everyone, I'm Matthew Cornwell with Get Taped here in Atlanta, one of Atlanta's original audition taping services, which I co-own with my amazingly talented, beautiful wife and best friend, Brooke. And now on to our topic. I'm in a drought. Welcome to my pity party. Before we talk about today's topic, I want to mention that this video coincides with the 100th issue of The Scuttlebutt. Holy moly, 100. Who knew our little weekly newsletter about the industry would last so long? And if you haven't signed up yet, I'll put a link in the show notes below. So with that milestone achievement, why am I choosing to talk about droughts? Bummer, right? Well, because it's all intertwined, and let me explain. In full disclosure, as of the recording of this video, it's been 209 days since I was on set. That's just over 6 months. In fact, it's exactly 57% of a year. And for me, having been at this for 20 plus years, that's an above average drought. In that time, I've had some avail checks, pins, first refusals, etc. I've also had the chance to watch a lot of those roles end up on the screen and get to see who booked them instead of me. In fact, I have a lot of good actor reasons to sit around and pout. And in full transparency, I have done that. Pout, that is. I've invited Brooke to many a pity party. Sometimes she comes. Sometimes she doesn't. But here's the thing. The industry, like I've mentioned in previous videos, is a complicated lover. We give and we give month after month, year after year, and the industry just takes. It feels like there's no reciprocation a lot of the time. And to be clear, at the start of your career, this is to be expected. You're training and you're training and you're training, and then you're trying to get that agent, and then you're building relationship with casting directors. So it can be a lot of input before you start to see the fruits of that labor. But even for actors like me, who've been doing it 20 plus years, well, the Phil Collins lyrics to No Reply at All seem apropos. Is anybody listening? Oh, no reply at all. Side note, there is just not enough horn sections in today's music. Am I right? Who's with me? But hey, Matt, why aren't you bathing in a pool of your own tears given this prolonged slump? And by the way, 6 months is not really that long of a slump by industry standards. And well, to answer that question, I've focused on other aspects of my career and my life. For instance, although the bookings stopped 209 days ago, the residuals didn't. I realize for those of you at the beginning of your career, you may not have experienced residuals yet. It's glorious. For example, a commercial I did well over a year ago started airing pretty much right as my drought started. So I've been getting residual checks pretty consistently over the last 6 months. And interestingly, I thought they buried my commercial because we shot 3 other commercials that I wasn't in on that same day, and those started airing almost immediately. But mine was nowhere to be found. And in the end, they were just saving it until the holiday season, and they've been running it ever since. So what started out as seemingly bad news has turned into really good news. Oh, and then there's the movie that I did in 2019 that didn't come out until 2021, so that was tough waiting for it to come out, only to find out that they had cut both of my scenes, almost every single frame. I think there's like 1 frame of me blurry in the background. And yet, about 2 months into my drought, I got the first residual check for this movie, and it was the biggest film residual check I'd ever seen in my life. So once again, what started out as crappy, heartbreaking news of getting cut out of this humongous movie turned into very good news in the form of a residual. Additionally, for the better part of almost 4 years, I've been working on my spy comedy pilot, Roger Espionager, and during my drought of the last 6 months, I've been really focusing on getting it finished and starting to look at distribution, and that has brought me a lot of contentment and joy. And I'll drop a link to the teaser trailer in the show notes below. And above all that career stuff, I've been focusing on my marriage and my health. Even after a trip to the ER about 3 months ago that resulted in my gallbladder getting removed about 7 weeks ago, I'm embarking on my first Murph challenge a week from today. Pray for me. And despite the fact that Brooke doesn't always come to my pity parties, we've made it a priority to place our marriage above our careers. And that has helped us sustain over 12 years of marital bliss. Point of all this is to highlight the fact that at any point in your career or your life, I'm sure you could name 100 things to complain about. In fact, as an exercise, list 10 things in your head or on a piece of paper that you could complain about legitimately. I'll wait. By the same argument, you could list 100 things that you're thankful for right now. So, as a follow-up to the previous exercise, list 10 things, either in your head or on a piece of paper, that you are thankful for right now. Now, I'm not trying to trivialize all the negative things that can happen in life. We will all have major life events and traumas that will overwhelm us at times. In fact, I just passed the 7-year anniversary of my dad's death, which was sudden and hugely traumatic for my life. I did this little drawing of him at the time. But in time, things tend to settle back into a manageable day-to-day existence. And when things do achieve that stasis in our life, well, then it just boils down to perspective. What things do you choose to focus on, and what things do you choose not to focus on? And that, my friends, is 100% in your control. So if you're in a booking slump like me, well, first of all, I pray that we all get booked this week. But if that doesn't happen, try focusing on only the things that are within your control, like your mindset. Dwelling on everything else just won't help. Oh, and just to wrap this video up in a nice bow, the final thing that I'm thankful for is achieving that 100th issue of The Scuttlebutt. That's it for now. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on set once I get through this slump.